if we're doing that.
Sasori.
Okay. So, podcast
Sasori.
topic. Could and should Sasori have been the final villain? Kido
No,
thoughts? No. Why not?
absolutely not.
Well, what if, Kido, I told you I have 10 magnificent commandments telling you why he could and should have been the final villain?
Um, uh, I would say that you have the right to believe that.
Okay, well, starting at number one. And Kamui, maybe you want to say something first. Maybe you want to guess any. Maybe you have your own thoughts before anything. But
I don't remember at this point.
all right. So I don't remember any of these either. I wrote these at work. Number one, he is the perfect person to come up with the infinite Tsukuyomi and want to cast it, and is smart enough to get it done. Since he's the eternal art guy, he's the one guy who would love the plan the most. He'd be down. He'd be the number one supporter of the plan. The infinite Tsukuyomi, he's the eternal guy with his art. Makes sense to me. And again, he is smart. Look at everything else he did. He defeated the Kazekage. He's been in history for a long time as well. There's tons of reasons. Sasori could be the infinite Tsukuyomi guy. We all agree? Alright, we all agree.
Maybe.
Okay, well, number two, he loves eternal infinity or whatever, which makes him the perfect person to manipulate shinobi history and have ties to Black Zetsu. This especially works since he has a puppet body. He can just be as old as he needs to be. He could have been frickin' around since the Kaguya times. Or Hashirama times. Just have him be Kakuzu. He's been around since Hashirama. He fought Hashirama. Have that be why he has a puppet body. His original body was destroyed and needed a puppet body. You can just do anything there. The whole point, he's been manipulating all of Shinobi history.
Didn't we see him as a child though? With Chia?
I'm saying in this case, you could just rewrite that.
Oh, I see.
Or you could have him just be real evil. And he had Orochimaru's body transfer jutsu or something, huh? There you go.
Yeah.
So number three. Sakamo connections makes Sasori someone who can give Kakashi spotlight to focus on still in the final arc. So instead of Obito just doesn't exist, so Kakashi, oh no, he's not gonna get his focus. Yes, he does, because Sasori is connected to Kakashi's dad. So you aren't losing that aspect of Kakashi. You're just slightly changing it. So I think that totally makes sense to Lewis. So number four, Sasori giving up Sakura and Chio, like when Sasori, whenever he gives up to them, that could play perfectly into the concept of giving him Obito's regret in this final arc. So Sasori's back. He remembers back to there. Naruto can be like, oh, remember when you did that? And then we actually, I'll agree with you, Kamui. There you go. Now Sasori has the regret that you thought that Obito did have.
The regret over losing to Sakura and Chia?
Well, it's not the regret over that. It's because he had regret. He lost to Sakura and Chio. And in which case, Sasori in the final arc, he'll have to come face to face with that because he was denying it or whatever. He had a mask on, and Naruto made him aware of it. Made him face it.
I see.
Yeah, so he has to face his regret. The same regret that already got him killed once. Number five. This further confirms Sasori indeed did choose to die at Chio's Sasori parent puppets, and that, like Haku, Sasori was actually way stronger and could have killed them at any time. Also similar to Itachi in that way, but I think that totally works. It's like a beginning and the end. First it was Haku at the beginning of the series, now it's going to be Sasori at the end of the series. It's like similar dynamic there. But also it is just ambiguous on how strong Sasori was. Was he stronger than Deidara, weaker than Deidara? Was he top tier Akatsuki? Was he at the bottom of the Akatsuki? We don't know. Or at least it's heavily debated. This just makes it universally accepted. Be understood, he was way stronger.
I see.
Yeah. Number six, Sasori is Orochimaru's partner. Orochimaru betrayed the Akatsuki, and Orochimaru is relevant in the finale. You know, final arc, the war arc, whatever, Orochimaru comes back. So that's like the perfect person to either team up against or fight Kabuto. In that regard, so that would be really cool. Yeah, I definitely think Orochimaru and Sasori could have, through their ties, their connections, they definitely could have some final scenes here in the war arc. I think that could be really cool, especially with Sasuke coming back to fight as well. Except both of them. Orochimaru's student at that point, but yeah. Number 7. Puppets can replace or just be the Edo Tensei. So imagine how cool it would have been if instead of Madara saying the 5 Kage aren't doing too well, it's Sasori coming over with the 5 Kage as puppets. And that indicates that Sasori beat them and turned them into puppets. So in this case, the Hokage can still be Edo Tensei, and we could have a Kage versus Kage matchup. Since, like, he didn't beat the Hokage, he beat the 5 Kage, so Orochimaru can still make the Hokage, Edo Tensei, to fight the 5 Kage. And that would especially be cool to replace Hiruzen versus the statue fight that never really was a fight in the first place. Instead, like...
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of stupid.
I know, instead of Hiruzen just having the 5 elemental natures or whatever fight the statues fight, it's just each of the 5 Edo Tensei Hokage, we're just gonna have it be 5 in this case, I guess, but either way, they're just gonna fight through like one nature elemental each against the Edo, the puppet Kage. You do something like that. There's a ton of different angles you could play with that, but I think that'd be really cool. And again, I think just instead of Edo Tensei, you could just have a Sasori controlling a ton of puppets across the world somehow. I mean, if freaking Toneri can do it, then Sasori can do it. And the fact that Toneri is, like, the final villain of the Naruto franchise, and he is using puppet style, that just leads credence to where puppet style could be the final villain. Which could
especially if he could just use their corpses as human puppets, the way he does with their Kazekage.
Exactly, yeah. So I definitely think puppets could definitely replace or just be the Edo Tensei. But either way. Number 8. Sasori was the first and last Akatsuki. In this case, it would be, anyways. And or you could replace Kisame as Itachi's partner to be the first Akatsuki if you want to consider Kisame and Itachi as the Akatsuki's introduction, when I really would just say it is the Sasori Data fight at the beginning of Shippuden. That's when the Akatsuki is really relevant for the first time. Beforehand, that wasn't the Akatsuki. It was Itachi. More than anything. It was Itachi invaded the village, not the Akatsuki invaded the village. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. But either way, so it would be like an Alpha and Omega to where Sasori is the first and last villain of the Akatsuki here. So it's like perfect for Shinobi history as well.
Okay, real quick. This isn't something to harp on. But what the hell do you mean by saying it's like the Alpha and Omega in this context?
Because he's the beginning and the end. The start and the finish.
Is Omega even the end?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, Kido, you tell me, what is Alpha and Omega?
You say it a lot.
Do say it a lot.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's beginning and the end. There you go. Kamui learned something new tonight. All right.
I don't think that's true. Maybe it is.
Number 9. Oh, yeah, again, so if he is the beginning and the end, again, I do think that's also perfect for Shinobi history. Not only for in-universe, but for the audience, he's the perfect for the first and last person that way. Anyways, number 9. The whole idea of Naruto villains is that they are tools being manipulated on puppet strings, metaphorically. In this case, Sasori, the puppet master, could be the literal physical representation of that and actually do that with previous villains in the work. So, for example, Zabuza isn't gonna be Edo Tensei. He's gonna be one of Sasori's puppets. It's just Nagato as well. It's just all the previous villains are gonna be Nagato's tools. Or, sorry, Sasori's tools. They're gonna be literal tools. For obvious reasons, I think that definitely works. I would also say in this case, Sasori is replacing the Kaguya dynamic to where all villains in Naruto's were humans that rejected their humanity, whereas Kaguya was even human. In this case, it's just Sasori is going to like replace that concept in a way by being the literal puppet master, the controller of all the tools. And the fact that he also isn't human also just works in that regard. But Sasori already was literally the final villain of that one filler arc and did use the 5 Kage puppets to scale up and did fight for a long time against Naruto, Sasuke, in like the Shinobi world. And that was number 10. So that was my 10 reasons for why Sasori